Let's turn that down. It should be low enough to not be obtuse. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Whoa. I'm looking at my mic and the cable looks like it's sticking out, but it's not. I just checked it. It's in there. It's just poorly designed. How's everybody doing today? It is Monday, a holiday, Labor Day, so I don't have to work. That was nice. So because of that, I thought, hey, I can stream early and have my entire afternoon free. So why not, right? This is what we did last week on Thursday. We did some. I opened up Instagram and looked up people who watercolor, and I just picked random ones that I thought, hey, let's try it. And I replicated as much as I could, at least, and the time that I got. It came out pretty good. This one was exercise in glazing. The magenta one came out really well, but the blue one was not really dark enough. So I think it didn't really make the lines that you'd expect. And then we did a flower, or a series of flowers. I thought they came out pretty cute. And the jar was weird. Didn't quite come out the way I was hoping. I squashed it. I put things in weird places. It's weird, but hey, that's cool. For first try, not bad. And then we got these. They look like they're just dots, but they were water drops, and then just touched the top of the water drops with pigment and let them dry, or took an eternity to make them dry with the heat gun. So that's how those came out. Makes kind of sense when they dry. They have a darker color on the outer ring, and then it kind of fades as it dries inward. And I've had a little, like a landscape scene, which came out kind of cute. And then rectangles with, I don't know, kind of faded color in the middle. And another attempt at clouds, which we'll have to come back to someday because that's just not, it's not great, but we'll keep working on them. And then this fall tree came out really cute. I like how this one came out. That was super cute. So overall, happy with the whole idea. I'll be revisiting doing the Instagram search and recreate process. But that's not what we're doing today. It's kind of warm in here right now. Let me scoot this over here and get it out of the way. The irony of this song is not lost on me today. It's kind of a Christmassy kind of song. So today I'm going to be making some greeting cards, or at least greeting card size stuff. My goal eventually is to have some stuff that I make for people that we're going to send things to, but to also have a supply of like random ones to the side that aren't really focused at any particular person. So I'm probably going to work on some of those like abstract ones today. So how am I going to make them? Still kind of working on that, but we're going to be figuring that out today. I did a quick search online to figure out like envelope sizes, because clearly you have to make greeting cards and put them in like an envelope to keep them safe, right? And they come in a wide variety of sizes, but the most common ones were 4x6 and 5x7. If I did the math and wanted to do that on full sheets of paper, I would need 8x12 math. 8x12 if I did 4x6 ones, or 10x14 if I want to do 5x7 ones. and do 4 per sheet, right? I obviously don't have 8 by 12, but I have 9 by 12. So I'll be able to cut an inch off of the long side, and that would shorten it to 8 inches wide. And then it'll be 12 inches high. So when I cut them, I'll make 4 by 6 sheets. So I can sacrifice one long inch off the side of the paper and then have enough left behind to make 4 from one sheet. So I think that's pretty good economy. Alternatively, I think I might have some 10 by 14 paper over there of a different brand. And I could always make some 5 by 7 ones too, but it's probably going to be better if I stick to one paper brand and one size. And also not give myself too much canvas to fill because, the smaller it is, the further away it looks, the better it's going to appear at a glance, right? And then when people start getting in close and peering at it, that's when they're going to see all the flaws come out, right? So keeping it smaller, I think will help give me less to worry about as well. So it seems like a good plan there. And I think the goal is to just do, it could do one of two things, which, depends. If I make them really like higher quality, if I spend a lot of time and effort on making them look great, then it might be better. Might have and I were talking, saying that we can make them like bifold. So like they just fold in half like a normal greeting card, and then people can sit them down on something and they'll kind of hold themselves up without like a frame or anything required. Or I do them as a single card that they then have to like just lean against something. So I guess that's kind of a question. Do I want to do it that way? Important updates are available for your PC. Okay, thanks, Dell Support Assist. I'll come back to you later. Get that out of the way. There we go. Yeah, so that's the question, right? Am I going to do bifold or single sheet? Single sheet's going to be the least waste of paper in multiple ways. But if I do the bifold one, it'll stand up on its own and it'll leave the cover to paint on, technically room to do painting on the inside if I really want to, but I probably don't want to, but we'll see. And then room to write on, but then it'll leave like basically a blank page on the back as well, which is again, wasted paper. If it's a single card, I can paint on the front, rewrite on the back, put it in an envelope, move on, right? So this seems like the most cost-effective way to do it. Another thing I was thinking of just a few minutes ago, actually, was I've never truly sent, at least not en masse. I say en masse, like however many I'm going to end up making. I've never sent out a large quantity of paintings out to anybody yet. And I worry about protecting them. Clearly, I could just tell people, don't keep them in a moist environment. Don't put them in your bathroom when the shower going. Don't put them in the kitchen. Don't put them anywhere where it's high moisture because it's going to reactivate and drip down the page, right? What I don't have that we could use later on before we actually prepare to send them is get that wax sealant that you're supposed to get to put over the top of watercolor paintings to seal them and make them waterproof, or at least water resistant, at least on the top. If it gets on the back, it goes through the paper, but I don't think that would mess up the image. It would just make the paper warp and curl, But that's just something to consider, is getting a protectant layer. So that can come later. And now that I thought of it, I'll know to go look for some of that somewhere. And then maybe we take some of these, the Polaroids that we made a long time ago, and try protecting them. And then pick one to sacrifice and try to dribble some water on the top of it and let it sit for a few minutes, and then pull it off with, maybe hit it with a brush and make sure it's not actually pulling anything up, and then dry it off with a paper towel and make sure it stayed safe. And then we'll know that that process will work for us, right? So it's definitely something to consider. So I say to get started, let me go ahead, and I've got the paper cutter over here. Let me go ahead and measure out an inch to slice off of this, and then we'll cut it into 4 pieces, and we'll have more than enough for today, I think. And if for some weird screwball reason we need more, we'll cut more, but we'll do that later on, I think. And then we just pick one and we start taping it down and figure out what we're going to paint, which we'll figure out I think we're going to go kind of abstract at first, and then we'll have a supply of abstract options, and then we'll work our way inward over the coming days and weeks and months until we get closer to the holiday season. So let's do that. Ooh, man, can I just say, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until summer's over. It's so toasty. I mean, it's weirdly not really hot today, but it's humid. So everything's just kind of sticking to me. I'm just like, well, it's all right. And let me find it. Get one sheet. Man, it is amazing how much information Arches puts on the inner flap of their paper. There's just so much information here, but it's just in different languages. Yeah. French. English, obviously. This one, I don't, Spanish? Spanish. German? Ooh. Definitely German. This one, ooh, I don't know what this one is. Not without pulling out my phone and having it like auto translate or something. I'm not sure what that one is. That one looks like Italian. I think that one is Grazi. Yeah, that one's Italian. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know on that one. That one's really interesting. It almost looks like some, I don't know what. It's got a lot of accent marks that make me think of French, but at the same time, some of it looks like French, but some of it is definitely not. Yeah, I really don't know on that one. This one, forget about it. That one's all over the place. I really have no idea what that one's trying to say. And then we go into, I think Chinese and Japanese. I'll never figure out which one's which. I think that one is Japanese. That one is Chinese. Chinese is more like, I think the symbols are more squared off. And Japanese has a lot more fluid symbols. Oh yeah, that's full on Japanese right there. So that's obvious. So yeah, it's interesting. I never thought about looking at the back of that before. Just got a lot of words, a lot of stuff to say. You can at least look at the English one and know vaguely what they're talking about, just showing the paper and how they make it, and look how cool we are, what to use it with. All right, flip that back and put it over here. And what's on the back? Just barcodes and a QR code. Made in France. You can use it as a fan. All right. Let me grab some of this. I've got some sketch paper from last time. I have some tape. Let me grab my clipboard. Whoops, I'm hitting all the things. Okay. Put that over there for now. Yeah, so I've got some sketch paper so we can test colors as we go. And I can grab more as needed. I guess I don't have my palette out, but we'll look at that in a minute. I might, because of what this is, I might experiment and use a different palette. I could use the Kuretake one. I haven't really used a whole lot of this one. And it's a really beautiful color, as long as I don't go heavy on the color. The downside being I don't have a lot of loose palette to be able to just put random things in. I have some. If I want to do a quantity of color for anything. So I can figure that out when the time comes, or I can use my standard palette. But I think maybe for fun, And because there's a huge degree of different colors here, I might use this one today. Luck of the draw, just kind of there, and I'm like, I'm going for it today. So we'll see. I might use this set. We'll figure that out. Let's scoot that over and let's get this paper cut so we can at least get started with that. And then we'll get one tape down and then we'll figure out the rest as we go. So we need to take an inch of this off. So how are we going to measure that? Well, there's measurements here, but they're on the side you don't cut. And it doesn't show you what an inch is on the other side of the cut. So I'm going to have to measure here, because there's a ruler on this blue side here, and then just make a little tick mark where it's 1 inch, and then maybe the same thing on the other side here, so I can line it up, and then I can cut it off. And then we'll figure out cutting it in half both times. So let's grab a pencil. You'll work. You are 1 inch here. And I'm going to do on the inner side of 1 inch. So I've got some flexibility when I go to cut. And then let's flip it over. And how are you going to do that? Because it doesn't end at 1 inch on the upper side. You're going to just have to wing it. No, because it's at 9 right there. So I'll just do above 8 on this side. Excuse me. All right. All right. And let's get it even there. And I need to line it up with the channel where the blade goes. It looks like I am there. Yep. And it's also square on this side. So I'm going to fold the edge of the ruler down so this cutting blade can pass my finger. And I'm going to push down, cut, let go. We've got ourselves one inch of paper cut off of it. So now we're down to 8 by 12. And we need to turn these into 4 by 6s. So they both need to be cut in half. Oh, that's interesting. The little ad manager thing blanked out on the stream manager. Let me just refresh that page. Excuse me. It's back. It's back. All right. And then we need to find half. And then half on the other side. So since this is now down to 8 inches, we need to get it. Actually, let me do the other side. This is the side I'm going to end up hanging on. And this side is a little bit smoother. But I've never tried painting on the smoother side of the paper. I'm sure you can totally use it and it just gives you less texture. So that's good to know for the future. But I'll use the textured side, but I think I'll mark on the back of this and use that to cut. That way I don't have the pencil mark on the front of the paper. All right, so we need what you do to me. Oh, what? Okay, I'm saying too low. Oh, it's what you do to me. What you do to me. All right. That seems to be lined up fairly well. All right. 4 inches. 4 inches. Whoa. I caught my headphones under my desk and it ripped it right out of one ear. And the other side is 4 inches and 4 inches. Great. And this side is still very much 12. So now we need to cut this down. So according to my handy dandy ruler, 6 inches is, I'm on the right side, the smooth side I am. 6 inches is right here. Okay, that'll be one of them. And this one, since it has 6 inches, is right here. I wasn't trying to cause no other way. All right, so we are square. Our dot is lined up with the channel. It's going to cut in. I'm going to push in and cut. Well, it's close. It's close enough, I think. We can trim off more should we need it in the future. This one. Yep, that somehow didn't align, but whatever. We're close. That's so funny. Which one of them is off? Oh, okay. Well, good news. I think I know what happened. So good news, the small cut is exactly 6 inches, right? And that's a good question. Yeah, it's right where the pencil mark is, right? I think I know what's going on here. I think arches gives a tiny bit more wiggle room on the height, based on where they bind it up on the top. I guess so you've got room to trim it down to get it exactly to size. I'm guessing that's what they did, because the side where I measured at 6 inches is 6 inches high, but the remainder that should have been half of 12 because it's 12 inches tall is longer. And that is because they give a generous portion on top of the 6 inches that will need to be trimmed down. Now, I wouldn't normally care. However, if these are going to go into 4x6 inch envelopes in the future, I need to make them the right size or they're going to have trouble stuffing into the envelope. So I'm going to measure these and trim the excess off. Am I on the back or the front? The front. Just at the back. Okay. Let's do a little tick mark right there. And let's tuck that off. That is lined up. Okay. And now we are at 6 inches. All right. Turn this to the side we're going to be painting on. Yep. It aligns with that perfectly. Great. Let me get the other one and then we'll have 4 good ones to work with. All right. I really should have been marking this on the other side. That's fine. And then 6 inches is right at that mark. Align. All right. And now we should, have 4 nearly perfect, identical 4x6 cards, an index card size. So that'll work out really well. All right. These are unusable. I don't foresee anything I can do with these little scraps. So I'm going to throw these out. However, I will keep the 1 inch extra from the arches. I don't know what for yet. Maybe I'll save these if I make a bunch of them, and can save them for some other project, or maybe for test color on good quality paper to see how it reacts. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So I'll leave this one to the side somewhere. But we've got our 4x6s. Let's put them over here to keep them safe. Let's get the paper cutter put up. I was just like, what is down here on the bottom of my drawer? And I forgot that one time I put my salt shaker in here and it tipped over and I got a little bit of salt in the bottom of this drawer. Take that out of there. That's good enough. There we go. And get in there. There we go. My alternative option that I thought of and immediately said no to was doing 5x7 on this cheaper bulk paper, but I don't want to use this for something I care about. it's this stuff, right? And it's a radical difference from any quality paper, but Arches especially, because Arches is so thick. The weight on Arches is very high. It's 300 GM, and that's I have to look at it. You do say it somewhere, don't you? No? Oh yeah, there it is. 140-pound paper. But this scratch paper here is not. It is far less than that. So it's like super thin and flimsy. I mean, so much so that you can see light through it. You can't see it, but I can. I'd have to bring in a light box to show the difference of how thin this is. But I mean, trying to bend the Arches paper, you can see it resists and it flexes. This paper, I can fold it and crease it, no problem. So as soon as it gets wet, it ripples and it stays there. So it's not super quality. Good for scratch paper, good for practice, not good for production, right? So I'm not going to use it, even though it's pre-cut to 5x7. I would have to get like high quality 5x7 if I wanted that. And I don't. All right. No man like hair. Don't want to close my eyes. Don't want to file singing on this bed. And I don't want to miss a thing. Free of you. So you gently listen to the sort of thing. And we don't want to miss a thing. That's actually a good idea. So leave this out in case we want to use it, but let's bring the metallic and the iridescent paint out just in case we decide we want to use some, because I don't use it very often, and it's so pretty. I absolutely should use it, especially when I do like highlights on things. I bet that'll be really pretty. So let's preserve this just to the side. May not use it, but just in case, it's a nice little highlight when we want to. So I'll leave it there for now. This moment forever. Don't want to close my eyes. Right? I don't need you right now. You can go back here. I have the lid with the colors handy so I can look at them. So I'm probably going to scoot this over, set this here and lean it so I can have a view on these colors here. I don't want to miss one kiss. I just want to be with you right here with you, just like this. I don't want to cold. You're so fast to none. Just take you in small bed for all the rest of time. Don't want to fall to my island. Don't want feelings. Wish I miss you there. And I don't want to lose time. Alright. Well, I guess that's another question, isn't it? Do we do horizontal or vertical? I think vertical, right? I mean, because if you do horizontal, you can, but you probably want to do the writing on the back horizontal as well to kind of maintain that orientation. I guess it could be both, can't it? Whatever we end up doing for painting on the one side, we just write on the other side in that same orientation, and I think it'll look fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I guess that means we're going to paint in vertical. And we're probably only going to do one of these at a time. Just for space. So I think that'll be fine. Yeah. That'll be fine. It gives us a ton of real estate on this board, though. But I don't want to spill anything accidentally on the other pages. So I think I'll be fine just doing it on one. If anything, what I can do to save my brain a tiny bit is do it at the far end of the clipboard. And then we can zoom if we want to, so you can see what I'm doing when the time comes. So yeah, I think we can probably start like that. Let's do it. I think we're going to try to do a thinner border on these. So I'm going to try to get these pretty well aligned. Which is really hard to do with this bright blue tape. We're going to try. Not too close. Yeah, I have to be a little bit more exacting since this is going to be going to people, potentially. Did I just do the same thing? Probably. Okay. I'm going with this, and I'm not going to keep going because I don't want to look for perfection. I just want it done. There we go. Hey, give me back my tape. Thank you. Stop. All right. Okay. Maybe we'll do two of these on here at once. And just do one, take it off, and then move to the next, but they'll already be taped down. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm overthinking it. It's kind of my stock and trade overthinking things. Sometimes. Okay. All right, that's fairly close. Put the corner down and leave it. Okay, that looks aligned. All right. Now, what are we going to do? It's a question, right? Well, clearly we're going to probably be using round brushes for this just to make life easy. Since we're doing abstract, round brush is probably the smartest thing to go for. And to start with, I'll probably do like a big wash of something. So that really does bring up the question, what am I going to do? Well, what do I like doing? What do people know I like doing? Well, there's a lot of it right here. Nebula, space, right? Doing spacey type things makes me happy, and doing a little nebula on the front of a greeting card seems like a nice little starter, at least for abstract stuff, right? So I think we can do that. Drink your coffee if you got them. So let's think it through. We've got a lot of great colors. What are we going to make? Well, I guess the question is, how dark do we want it, right? I don't know if I want to go as dark as like a standard nebula that I do, because if it's going to be for greeting cards, that's kind of a bit much. I suppose one thing I can try to do is do a simple, like 1 or 2 color nebula at most, and do like a night sky kind of thing. Like, since it's vertical like this, maybe do like a gentle kind of nebula going across part of the page, mostly dark, do only a few stars on it. And then when it dries completely, do some like basic trees and landscape on the bottom. I've seen people do that. That's pretty. I think that could be a nice one. Since it's supposed to be Christmas themed or holiday themed, doing wintry things would be best. So I don't know how that would look, but maybe I could do trees that have some white in it or some pale color, along with like a violet or whatever kind of shade we go with up above, and then darken it. So it looks like there's like snow on the top of branches, perhaps. We'll figure it out when we get there, but we can certainly start by doing the space scene part of it and then worry about the rest. I think even at night, I think the closer to the horizon you are, I think it starts kind of fading a little bit, just like the sky does during the day. So we could leave it a little bit lighter on the bottom and then darken it up near the top. That'll probably work. So we can see how that goes. And again, this is, I mean, it's on good paper, but it's kind of practice anyway. So we can just kind of run with it. Yeah, you're just going to sit there like that because I don't feel like picking everything up to put you back. All right. So thinking it through how we're going to do it. So we've got ourselves, we can pick a color to do the nebula in the middle, and we can use like a faint blue or like a kind of a rich color blue around the edges. No, I think it needs to be darker than that. We'll probably go, this is Prussian blue. Maybe we'll do a touch of Prussian blue and then switch to indigo for the far outer part of it. And then for the tree portion, we'll figure out a blue that works and mix it with like a lighter color to do like the top of trees. And then we'll go in and darken it underneath it. We'll figure that out when we get there. But I think we need to do wet on wet if we're going to make it work. So we're just going to go crazy with wet. Get the one color or two colors we're going to do for nebula. Probably a purple violet color will be nice. Hey, Desert. Trying to write a newsletter, supposed to be monthly, and so you're sort of lurking while listening. Oh, no, that's great. Welcome in. Always be free to lurk. I love you being here. Thank you. Just to recap, I'm working on greeting cards for the end of the year. At least that's the goal. And I'm working on doing the more abstract ones that don't really have a theme for the people they're going to. So we've got spares. And then later, as we go throughout the weeks in the year, my goal is to work on more custom ones for people that we care about. I may not even do some of those on stream because I might want to work on them more. And I try to speed through things on stream, but for nice stuff, I'm probably going to do some of that off stream. We'll see. If I do that, I might show some of them. It just depends if any of them will watch the stream because I don't want to give it away. So yeah, it's the first one. I think I'm just going to go with my tried and true and do like random nebula. So let's wet it down. Pick a color, probably a violet. I love these. I always love this one. It's the royal one? Imperial violet. And then cobalt violet next to it. So those two go really well together. I might stick with those. So let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. Oh, I forgot. I can do that on scratch paper. Oh, gosh, even worse. Didn't even think of it. I need, nope, wrong drawer. This one. That's the one. Probably what I'm going to use. I also have this. If I want to use any of these colors from the other day, from Thursday, I've got a pinkish color here, a little bit of a violet, a blue. I forgot what color that was, but it's separated. It's darker on the bottom and lighter on top, so that'll be fun to play with. And we got a greenish color that we made, like a forest green. So if we need any of these colors, I'll get them from this palette. And then once these start washing away, I can start using this one for the Kuretake set. But then I've got a whole clean one that I can use. And when we're done, if we need any extra kick, I brought up the metallic and iridescent paints. So if we want to add anything on top, we can do that. So I don't want to get it too close, but I think it'll be okay. Just setting it right on top. And if we want to test colors, we can do it on some scratch paper. All right. So let's at least get the paper wet. Waiting on the to pain. Clearly, I've got some ideas for a lot of the things that we're going to do for greeting cards, but we're really just kind of wing it for a while for all the abstract ones we're going to do. Clearly, I'm going to lean into what I like first here and doing nebula. But later on, we'll try to do some Christmas type themed ones. We'll do trees, maybe leaves. I'm on. That's not the word I was looking for. Wreaths or wreath. Maybe some Christmas lights, maybe presents, maybe like a faint abstract house with some decorations around it, some winter scenes, stuff like that. Right. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I think I'll switch to a smaller round brush for practicing our colors. So I was looking at the violets. Let's get some of those on paper again. It's been a minute. Oh, I haven't even wet this down. I've got water right here. Haha. You. All right. I get a little bit in these to get them started. All right. Let's grab the Imperial Violet first. And I'm just going to get some on here dark. And I'm not even going to add water to this. I am just going to go across the page and see how much of this will stain the brush because I'm really interested. Yep, starts drying out. Only slightly gets fainter. We get to the rinse water and do one rinse and then let's do another pass below it. Yeah. Okay. And let's take a look at the cobalt violet next to it. All right, and this is the cobalt violet. And I'll do the same thing as the other one. We're just going to go across the page with it. See how it naturally fades without adding any extra water. I must add a lot more water in that one. It stayed wet far longer. All right, and let's do a thinner amount of pigment. Just water mostly. All right. And the two very different colors, but right up against each other and look very close to each other. My earbud was about to fall out again. There we go. Yeah, I love both of those colors. But I think what I'll do is I'll go faint with the cobalt because it's kind of a lighter, richer color, and then surround it with the Imperial Violet because it's a much darker color, and maybe have some of it flip into it a little bit. So we're going to keep it lighter in certain areas. We'll go in light with the cobalt violet, darker with the cobalt violet, and then go rich with the Imperial Violet in areas around it. And then we'll switch to our blues and indigo, our Prussian blue and indigo to surround it. And then we're going to try to go darker on the top and then more faint with our colors on the bottom if we can, because that's going to be closer to the horizon. Because we're going to try to put some trees on the bottom, I think. Okay. I got my theory down. Now I have to do it. I think it might be good to start with my larger brush with a light color. And then I'm going to go to the smaller round brush to get some more detail in there. Because I might be a bit heavy-handed if I stay with my large round brush here. I have an even larger round brush back there, my size 16, but I think 12 will be plenty. All right, let me wet it down one more time because it's been a minute. I'll make sure it's nice and thirsty. Or not even thirsty, waterlogged, really. Maybe not puddles, but still nice and wet. Mm. Okay. Looking at it at an angle, I can see the water is on it, but not stupid. So I think we can get started. All right. So let's grab some of our cobalt violet, like we were talking about, and I'm going to get it into, let's add it to this one. Okay. Got a nice amount of it. And I'm going to go into my rinse water and thin it out a bit. Yeah, that's not bad. Just add some, do a thin amount on the bottom. All right. And let's go back into it and go a little bit darker in a couple spots. I know how I am. I need to really focus on hitting this at different angles. I'm really bad at going at the same brush angle all the time. So I need to try to spread out and turn in different ways. That's bleeding and making these little tendrils. That's the good word for it. I like that. And add tiny little touches of it in spots. I don't want to go too nuts with it because we need to keep some structure in it. I'm really bad at overdoing it, so we're trying not to do that so much today. Okay. All right. That was pretty. Let's wipe that off and let us go into our Imperial violet. I'll put that over next to this. Totally different color. And I'm going to keep it that strong. And I am going to go in the areas where I'm going to end up putting indigo. I send it out a tiny bit and hit it in some spots down here too. So we get the same color, but we're trying to keep it thinner on the bottom there. All right. Got some colors going on now. Nice, really pretty purple. Let's wipe that out. And let's hit our Prussian blue. And I am going to go thick with the Prussian blue, and I'm going to add it to this well right here. And we're just going to use this one. Okay. And let's add some of this onto our violet color in some spots. Okay. Add some in the middle and spots. I don't want to cover up all that light color that I put in there. So I'm going to leave most of that alone, I think. Yep. And just by virtue of having used most of the pigment in the brush, it's getting lighter on the bottom on its own. So I'm just going to fill this area in because it's going to be covered mostly with tree, I think. And then let's get that out and let's grab ourselves some indigo and pick a spot for him to live. All right, indigo. Wow. Am I already to the bottom of that pan? I barely have used these. They don't fill these very full. We have to be a little more gentle with them. All right. And indigo is our darkest color, so we're going to need some. All right. And let's start hitting that indigo in spots. And I'm going to brush it in. I'm going to dab it, I think. Okay. It's pretty. So dry it off. Okay. You turn this down. I can only turn it down one more and that just turns off the music. So I'm just going to cut it so I can talk. Um, Excuse me. I say that as I like cough in your ear. Sorry about that. Yeah, that looks really pretty. I'm gonna zoom in on it a little bit and you can see how it's going. Guy's looking real pretty. Got some nice color to it. Um, I know how I am and I tend to overdo it. I need more time and practice to really hit nebulas and get them done right. But I think for greeting cards, they should be fainter anyway, because they should be more of a suggestion of what the total image is and not, oops, sorry, not super dark and like stupid rich color, like all throughout, right? Like this would be too much for a greeting card, but this is nice and faint and gentle, and it is more wispy, I think, and more light, right? If I did this as greeting cards, people are gonna pull it out of the envelope and be like, "Oh my god, okay, I get it." I'd rather them not be like exploded with too much effort and too much color. That and I want these to be easier to do. So if I stick to one layer when possible, I think they'll be simpler to get done. I mean, that's kind of the more important part of this. They're meant to be given to people, and then they're who knows what they're going to do with them. They could keep them, they could throw them away. Doesn't matter to me. But what does matter to me is figuring out how to do trees. I need to put some trees down on the bottom, but I should probably practice what that's going to look like and get the colors practiced too, right? So let's do two things. One, I'm going to pick some music that's not quite so loud so I can turn it back on. Oh, this is a great song. Oh, of course you can't hear it because, you know, there you go. Who knows how long that's not been working for? Probably the whole time. Uh, Let me pick on something. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. Love your perfect imperfections. Keep my eye to you. Do I not have a playlist? Oh, there they are. Gonna be one of me. You keep me on of you. Let's do this one. And I'm going to turn it down. It is down already. This computer is not authorized. What? Why? What are you talking about? Play the music. Really? Now it's going to decide to not want to work? Everything is paid. Everything's good. What you bitch about, computer? There's just that one album? Why? That makes no sense. Okay, whatever. We'll play 3 songs, then move on to something else. Oh, see, now it's playing through that. I'm going to double up. I just want to play the one. Fixing things live. It's what we do here. All right. Anyway, let's practice some freaking trees. All right. So colors. I don't want it to be like bright green on top of this because that would be hideous. It needs to be mostly the color of what's here already, I think. So I'm probably going to need to do some light, like mid-tone color for what's going to be like the light on snow. And then a darker version of that for all the shadows and the base structure of the tree because they're almost entirely silhouettes, I think. So I need to do that down here. And then once I'm satisfied with how it works, I can do it on the actual painting. So maybe we start mixing some colors. We could do a tiny bit of green, but it needs to be that purplish color. I'm not going to need this dark purple anymore, and that is a pretty good dark color. So what I might do is do a bit of the green. And this is that Imperial Violet. All right. You try to squeegee that out of the thing so I don't take it all with me. And let's grab some of the Prussian blue, and we can add some of that to it. Okay. And maybe what we can do is the lighter color could be Prussian blue, maybe. And then we use this darker color for the shadow. So trees, we need basic trees. I might even have too big of a round brush for this, but let's practice anyway. At least we can practice with colors. All right, so get a trunk in there. Do slight swoopies. And get a little bigger with them as we go. Oh yeah, I really have to use the tip of this brush. Yeah, I'll almost definitely have to switch to a smaller brush. That was kind of okay, I guess. Okay. Maybe it's a little pointier with the tip of it. Okay. Maybe do some smaller ones. They don't even have to be perfectly straight because I already screwed that up a little bit. All right. And let's grab some of our darker color, hopefully darker color, and try to get just the tip of some of these. Well, yeah. I one need to let it dry, I think. And two, I need to switch to a smaller brush for the bottom, for the darker bits, I think. I mean, it's kind of okay, but it also separates really bad. If I did it on dry, yeah, let's experiment. That's why I've got this spare paper here. We're experimenting on purpose. So let's go to a smaller. And then we've got script brushes for a reason. Let's look at those. Let's grab some of this mixture that we did here. And let's try. I'm trying. Okay, so I don't want just lines. It needs to look like shadow. But to be fair, I don't have to keep a whole lot of the light color in there. I just need to kind of blend it so it looks like there is some light in it. I suppose. What about if I go in with the indigo for a final hit? That is the darkest thing I've got in here. Whoops. Okay. It depends to where. On that, and one friend. Oh, that's not too bad of an idea. Go figure with a medium-sized brush and do the lightest color I've got and do all of them like that. And then go in with the script one and push in a little bit more so it's a tiny bit thicker with the mid-tone kind of color that I've created here, and then finish off with the indigo, and that makes a pretty nice tree. I don't even have to do trees across the whole bottom, so let's try it. Let's do more of them here to practice, I mean, and then we're gonna try it in practice. I don't want to take all of the mix that I've got here though, so let's do a couple. Whoops. I totally missed the trunk of that tree. Can I do a tiny bit of that? And if I just go straight to indigo, it doesn't leave me a lot of wiggle room to make mistakes. That mid-tone one kind of covers up a lot of my mistakes. Yeah. Yeah, the midtone covers up a lot. I think I like the shape of these trees better than how these have been coming out. So let's do a final test. What we're going to call a final test. Let's hit some of that. Okay. It's also probably part of my problem. I'm using sketch brush for the second phase, and I should be using it only for the last one with the indigo. How's it gonna be when you don't know me? How's it gonna be when you're someone not there? How's it gonna be when there's no one there to talk to between you and me? 'Cause I don't care. How's it gonna be? How's it gonna be? Okay, I'm probably just gonna wing it. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let us pray. All right. So the first thing, go in wet with this. And maybe we're just gonna go gentle with the trees down here. Let's go with the little darker bits. When you don't know me, no, I'm gonna be. I just filled that up completely. See how this does. That's fine. Ultimately, I'm kind of okay that it's that color. Did this one. Let's do one on this side over here. What? I'm sorry. Why are you barking? What gives? seeing your comments. What? My little mixture here is gone. Maybe I just go with a couple of trees. I think I'm stopping there. Hey, Goddess, welcome in. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it should be just a touch more. Maybe when you could come to Okay, let's try that. Let's toothbrush this. Okay. And let's figure out what we're going to do with that. Okay, that was easy. That one too. That one too. Let you out into the world. Closing time. Excuse me. Gosh, throat is just like stupid today. Let's call around, call something in the shade, it's gonna be. I was in time. You don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, already have it out. Dirt. Gather neighbors to look good. Move it to the accent. I hope you have found a friend. Okay. I think that's good. Let's dry it. Starting to come up in the corner. There you go. All right. I'm going to peel it up and then I'm going to hit it with some of these white pens, but I'm going to go rinse my water first just to kind of get the water cleaned since it's got acrylic in it. I'll be right back. That's it. Okay, what's it having? That's it. What's up, John? There's it that. Right. Let's see trip. Three. And this is the right ear. All right. Let me turn this down completely for a second. Is it turning it down and back that makes it go away? No. Apple Music comment. Oh, comment's probably going to be going off for a minute because my other half just left to go to the grocery store, and the dog is going to be like, "Daddy, why'd you leave me?" So you may hear him barking for a minute. I have a 0.1, 0.8, and 0.5 size. So the 1.0 is the thickest 10 tip. So I will start with that one. Let me bring this toward me a tiny bit. Okay. While I've got the music down to where we can actually talk to each other for a minute. How's everybody doing today? Goddess, how are you doing? Hope it's a good day for you. I get this writing and make sure it's actually working. Yeah, there we go. I am working on, as the title says, I am working on greeting cards. I am starting the prep for the holiday season. I've never made greeting cards, and I've never really given paintings out as gifts, except for the one that I sent to you, actually. So I thought, hey, let's use this talent that I've got going on here in brewing and practice and give gifts out at the same time. It's not like it's going to be people's gift, but we are planning on including a painted greeting card along with whatever gifts we send to people this year. So I thought, hey, I'm going to work on doing a few different kinds, try to keep some sort of wintry vibe, or at least something that is close to the people's interests who are going to be sending these to. So what I'm going to be doing is working on some abstract ones, generic ones that are just for anyone. So if we have a situation where we don't really have one specific to somebody's interests, we can pick from the abstract ones that I'm going to make, and whatever we don't give away, we just store, we hold on to for future use, right? So the goal is to make a quantity more than I need of the abstract ones that are just of the season, right? Or just abstract because I like space, and I might do a bunch of space ones because that's what I like, and people are going to deal with it. That's what they're going to get. So some streams are going to be this, I think. I'm going to be making random greeting card style designs, single-sided. I decided on doing a 4x6. 4x6. I took 9x12 arches. I cut 1 inch off the long side, so that would be 8 inches wide and 12 inches tall, and cut those in half to make 4x6s from one sheet of arches, 9x12 paper. 4x6 easily fits inside an envelope, so that should be really nice to include along with things. So that's our goal. We don't have to make many because thankfully we don't have very many friends. So I get to just do ultimately maybe like 20, and we know far fewer people than that. The goal again is to have a bunch of spares, right? So I think I will have just a few extra, and then I'll worry about the very specific ones I want to make for people. The ones that are going to take more time, I'm either going to do partially on stream, or if I'm afraid those people might actually see it somewhere, I will not post them, and might maybe take pictures and show them after the holiday season so you can see all the ones I end up making, even specialty ones, if any. Because I'll be sure to do full quality scans of them. So we can take a look at them together. Let's do a bigger one right there. Yep. And then maybe a bigger one here. Yep. And a big boy up here because it's way up high. It should be nice and bright. Yep, there we go. Let me get to a smaller size and catch up on what you said. I think I missed you saying something. Your wiped out ears ringing. I remember it was starting to ring yesterday. Energy field fluctuating like crazy. Just waking up. Just waking up? Oh, you mean like, wait, did you just wake up? Girl. That's tough. If I try waking up at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm going to have a migraine. No, you had a nap. Okay, good. Phew, that's good. Yes, naps I can get behind. That would be crazy. I mean, it's possible. I don't know how late you stay up. You could stay up until 5 in the morning reading or something. I used to do that all the time. All the time. Yeah. All right, let's get a couple smaller ones. I can't even see them. I used to get the pen started. How are you now? Yep, there you go. And my goal is to keep it darker on top and fainter as it goes down, both for like horizon distance. It's supposed to be space, but also it helps because at night there's usually a haze, and the trees being kind of fading off in the distance as they go backwards also helps with that, I think, effect of it being fainter on the bottom. Yeah. And I don't want to cover up everything. I just want to do a couple obvious stars, and then the rest is just going to be faded. So on here, I can probably add some additional snow highlights to some of these because these are brighter than the paint. I want this to be kind of wintry, so I'm trying to make sure that the trees have some brightness on top of some of the branches. Okay, and oops, let's try to keep that straight, not curved. And then add it right here. These are closer so we can have some brighter color on them. Just leave it like that. Don't fuck it up. All right. He's go over here. And yeah, let's peel it. He did sleep in though till like 8 a.m. That's what I did today. That's lazy bum hours. That's totally what I did today. Because it's a holiday, I thankfully had today off. So I took advantage of that sucker by sleeping in, no alarms. It was wonderful. I don't get many of those unless I plan them. So I did it. Yeah, this came out pretty. I like it. You make sure I don't screw it up. There we go. And last but not least. Yeah, that worked out great. I love that one. That one's pretty. Wow. Yeah. Zoom out and use the high res capability of this and just get up close. Look at that. That came out really, really nice. Someone's going to love getting that, I think. I'll keep it blank and we'll write something on the back. Yeah, that came out great. I like it. Yeah, keeping this guy simple worked. One layer, one hazy layer. Doesn't need to be super in focus like we're looking at a crisp galaxy. It can be faint. Some of them can be crisper, I guess. Some of them can be like that. That's good. I like that one. All right. This one's going off to the side. Let me pick a home for it. It can go there for now. Blop. Let's grab another one because we still got a good bit of time. I can probably get one more done today, depending on how complicated I make it. Let me move some of my palette stuff out of the way and grab the tape. And let's tape this down and let's figure out what we're going to do for our next one. And because I've been yakking, let me grab some coffee and I'll turn the music back on. Yeah, see, it just, you know what it is with Apple Music? When it goes off script, so it's Apple Music, they just want to fight with Microsoft every single turn they can. If it's playing from something that I chose, like actually like clicked into, like a playlist or an album, it will play through the source that I created that points to the application. And it's also playing through my desktop audio as well. So you don't hear all of the sound effects and things that might come off like from Windows if something pops up. I try to have everything have a discrete audio source. So it points to the application and you're only hearing the audio coming from the app, right? Well, as soon as the playlist or album or whatever that I chose finishes and it goes rogue and starts playing things, it still plays, but it's somehow not playing through the application that I targeted for my audio source. it just goes rogue and it's still playing through the desktop source. So if I want you to always hear it, no matter what, I could just unmute the desktop source and mute the one I did for Apple Music. But then you might hear like all of my random desktop sound effects. I mean, nothing's really going off, so it's not really happening. But at the same time, it's kind of gross that their app works so crap in Windows because they chose to not make it work, right? Ugh, I'm just yakking. You know, some noises going on out there today. By a neighbor doing something silly. Albums. What can I play to the side that I don't care about? Only that I care about, but that I'm not going to be like listening to hardcore. On it. Hush, buddy. I've got person with 5. Ooh, I love B&L. Oh, but I'll be singing it. Oh, who cares? I love B&L. Yeah, that's exactly it. So crazy. All right, I'll have that going to the side. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's tape this down. You say, why does okay, I don't sing. All right. And not for work, boy. Let me think clear. Next way. To the day. Nope, that's at an angle. And this man fake behind me. And that day I could think of things that both remind me. These days it's unbearable for both of us. We can't discuss it this way. This way. Okay, I'm stopping. I probably won't. Turn it down. I love B&O. Brandon Lady is such a good good band. The sun is still clear, just clear. It's not too little, too late. What are we gonna do next? Any suggestions? I'm kind of doing still my abstract, like randoms, because I need to have a lot of those to the side. So something wintry, something of the holidays. It doesn't have to be like Santa Claus, but something that kind of like, oh, well, this is clearly a winter card. Be good, and I won't. If I was understood, it'll be great. Just wait. Or is it too little, too late? Good. And I would. If I knew I was understood, it'll be great. Just wait. Or is it too little, too late? Woo! All right. Still have my little Voyager, but that would take up the whole thing. And only a Voyager fan would love it. So keep those to the side for whatever. Let's think. Oh, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Oh, hang on. Something really funny has happened. What is this? Really? How did that? I'm gonna have to mess with that later, but wow, it absolutely did fall off. So I don't know if I mentioned it. You can see it in my hand here, but I recently replaced my lighting solution here. I have a light box now with a LED light bulb in it. And clearly it's like a cheaper one you get on Amazon. It was I honestly don't remember how much it was. I'll have to go back and look, but I got a 2-pack of them. 2 light boxes with this, tripod stand and the light bulb, with a remote, and I got 2 of them, so that I've got 1 and my other half has 1. I mainly got it for him because I come in and I see him, like, drawing with his markers and practicing with the dimmest light above him ever, and he was, like, asking me, "Can you tell what these colors are?" And I'm like, "Just get a brighter light." So, I was like, "Let's go online and look for them." Anyway, long story short, we both have them set up next to us now, and I've been using it for the last couple streams. But I just looked it up and I'm like, "What is that weird round object still inside the light box?" And the diffusion cover thing for the light bulb must have popped off at some point. So it's just shining the bright light in the middle of the thing. It's still like got a diffusion layer over it, but this is meant to go over the bulb. So it's fine for now, but I need to, when I get off stream, I have to take it apart and figure out how to attach this. It's clearly meant to be on it because it's got clips and it must have just expanded from the heat from the bulb or something. So I'll remember to do that later. Anyway, let me go back and see what you said. Um, no, that would be awesome. Anyone would love it. Do it like half of the paper, just like coming in on the side. Half the paper, half off the paper. I'm misunderstanding because I went off on my tangent and I lost track of the. No, that would be awesome. Anyone would love it. Do it like half off the paper, just coming in on the side. I need you to clarify, Goddess. I got stupid and lost what you're talking about. What do you mean? Half off the paper, like just coming in on the side. Lengthwise tall, like put it on the paper, then move it over to the side so most of it is off the paper. Oh, the Voyager? Oh, I see what you mean. Kind of like so. So that like half the Voyager is coming in on the side. Ah, to view more details, go to the orders or have us. Stop. Somehow something I said set off the Amazon device that shall not be named. Oof. All right, I get you. So we do it like halfway, and I wonder if we can paint over it, or I should probably trace on it. I'll have to trace on it and then use masking fluid to cover it up. Then it doesn't take up the whole page, but it's still kind of there. I get you, yeah. No, that's good. And it'll be half there with a border. And then maybe we could just fill it in black when we're done instead of leaving it white. That might be okay. So maybe I can just do it and leave an outline and then paint the whole damn thing. And then we'll paint a really dark color over it. We'll try not to paint in that area. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let me grab a pen. Time of year. Somewhere far away from here. I feel fine enough like it's. Considering everything's a mess. There's a restaurant down the street where hungry people like to eat. Nah, don't screw it up. And I'll just drive. It's colder than outside. Hey, don't get distracted. Hold it down. Try not to push the paper out of the way with a pen. Hold it down firmly. Stay there. Help! I just reached out into the side and fucked it up. I'll cover it up with dark sky or something. Maybe I will have to leave it light underneath. We'll see. Pen, pen, something still. Good enough. And I'm still asleep. Yo. It's hard to tell if I exist. So how are we going to do that then? Space around it. It doesn't have to be bright. It can be similar in brightness to this. Do you think if I paint it first, it won't matter if I get paint over it, right? I think so. Should I do just pure black? The only fear I have with that, Goddess, is if I paint it in and I accidentally overlap, even once it's dry, I have a risk of reactivating it if I paint over it. Well, I could paint it and then once it's dry, put that mask back over it to do like a layer of protection from myself so I don't make the black bleed into the nebula off of it. So that's probably what I can do. So you're right. It's a good call. Paint it first, get it total black because it's like a silhouette. I don't have any acrylic other than white acrylic. I do not have a wide supply. I have acrylic marker, like acrylic paint markers, technically. I don't know if it's pure black, and I've never used them. They're my other halves. He's got alcohol markers, and we got some acrylic sets as well. And that could technically work, but I don't know how painting over marker would work. Through thinking. It won't reactivate, you think? We can try. Let's go see. Let me go grab the set and take a look at it. One sec. Oh. Is there a black in this one? Hey, so looks like it. We'll open it and see. Let me grab my headphones. In worst case scenario, I could always paint over the marker with black watercolor if needed. All right. This is just one of the acrylic sets. There's a smaller one that's like an anime inspired color set. But this is one of the Christmas presents that I got for him is an acrylic marker set. And we also got, well, I think this was post-birthday, actually. The birthday was the alcohol sets. We got Ohuhu. It's hard for me to say. Ohuhu. Alcohol markers. And then shortly after, we saw someone use acrylic markers. And we got some of these, but it's got a lot of colors. Right? So I can take it out and there is a black or near black. I think that's what that 98 is there in the middle bottom. So we can look at it. Let me grab that and we'll try it on a scratch piece. 98. We put this back so I don't make a mess of his set. That looks like black to me. So grab a piece over here. Yeah, that looks like black. It writes, it draws really smooth. I have not used these yet. So that filled in really nicely. Not dry yet, but yeah, I think that'll work. And if anything, it might dry kind of a gray color and I may have to go over it again or go over it with watercolor, like I said. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. So, are they back? I think he is. He is. Quick trip. 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm back. Other half just got home, was letting him know I was borrowing one of his markers, and in the process, gave the idea to try putting water on this to see if it reactivates, and it's already dry. So that's actually a good call. So let's try that really quick. No, that's a negative. It's holding up really well, better than watercolor would. It's not it's not coming up at all. That's great. That only dried for like 60 seconds. Like he walked in the door shortly after I put it down and it was drying. And it's not coming up with any water at all right now. That's great. That's actually really good knowledge to have. Yeah, it's just one of those like I know acrylic is not water soluble, but knowing that what you got, even though it says acrylic, is actually acrylic and behaves like it should, and they didn't lie and put some other bullshit chemical in there. You know what I mean? Like testing it is one thing from knowing it. So it's good to have tested it and know, that it's capable. Like he could draw something in acrylic and then he could hand it to me and I could watercolor on it and won't harm any of the work that he did and I can add to it with watercolor. So it's just a great idea to know that we can blend materials like that. I never thought about giving it a shot. Yeah, you can't even tell that aside from where it's wet, you can't tell that water got put on that marker. So that's great. Let's try it. All right. Let's go ahead and turn this at an angle that I can actually use it at. Uh, and I may be rotating it as I go because I don't want to go too far outside the bounds of the outline that I drew. And watch out, you stay there. I still want count a little bit. I'm a little bit off, but I need to be in a comfortable position to do this. I don't want to screw it up. Too low, too low. Let's talk, you know that standing next to you. I felt less and you know this. I may expand on this nacelle a tiny bit to try to correct my mistake. It'll be a little bigger than it actually is, but that's fine. And we live. And we have to, or we'll end up in the bath. Now we're in the bath. I'm already thinking and reach. What? Frog in my throat. That didn't work. Maybe I should give up singing. He says as he starts singing immediately. Yes, I'll see you in the daylight before. Before fireworks exploding. I think that came out fine. You can't see it because it's off camera, but I could just zoom back out. Yeah. It's not too shabby. Let that dry completely before we hit it with anything. Oh, it's nice tall. Let me tell other half about the light. All right. Yeah, looks good. I may have to go over it again, but I'll probably do that later. I think we're good enough to paint on that. So we just have to decide what, right? Let me put this marker. You go upside down like that. Sure, you go love it. Just that. Thank you. I need some coffee. I still have some. I just need to drink it. All right. Let's turn it. Oh, let me show you how to have this. Hey, check out how that came out. Oh, thank. And check. Yeah, that came out really huge from the type of down. And down to one down, like a dozen to go. Huh? Seven. Seven? Yeah. Well, I'm doing way more spare than I need. I'm intentionally doing a whole lot of extra like abstract type ones, so we've got some to pick from afterward. If we get lost and who gets what, and then like we'll make specific ones for people that we know. You know. My other half is going to be making gift tags using we don't know what either. I'm guessing either of the alcohol or the acrylics like we just used here. So I'm working on the greeting card portion. And he's working on the gift tags. He's going to do smaller, like to from with artwork on it. So we're going to just be arting it up because we can. and it's unique. I love how that one came out, especially after that dried and the tape came off. It just turned that into something even more magical. Very happy with that. All right. Anyway, back over here. We need to figure out what we're going to do color wise. I already kind of know what I want just after knowing that we went with Voyager. I mean, the biggest thing that Voyager did was battle the Borg in addition to getting home. And Borg colors are like yellowish and green. So I think we can do that. We can do a yellowish green kind of nebula behind it. So let's pick on some colors and get ourselves a palette. The palette we did earlier, I think is way too dark for that, except for maybe the space, indigo kind of colors. So we'll probably use it for that. And maybe this green one for like the darkest green portion, but we're going to need some yellows and some greens that fit the Borg coloring out of this. So yellows, we've got a bright yellow there, which I like, which we'll probably use. That's lemon yellow. But for a green, we may have to do a blend of a green to do like green yellow to make it a really vibrant color. But which green? We want to do one that's more in the, I think more in the reddish hue. Because if I go with the bluish one, I think it's going to make it too cool looking. We can experiment and see what kind of color mixes we can get to. Let's try it out. It's been a while since I've used it, so I think I'm going to rehydrate that area of the palette. It's gotten pretty dry. Right. And maybe we can figure out something to do with some metallics. Maybe we can do something metallic on the Voyager, or we'll just leave it black. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Let me put some of these brushes up because I don't want to get them damaged or anything. Said with a grin, we were just talking about you. We all had to lie because you knew would die of crying. Been at you a momentary lull before the band begins to play. There's an overwhelming stench of alibi. Come on now, come on now. Enjoy the humor of the situation. Come on now. Enjoy the humor of the situation. That's what I thought. Don't wait till I'm home, but I'm sure I could hear you crying. I said where I was I doubted because it's the caller ID you're buying. I was that it took for me to drive up to your door. You'd arranged all my belongings on the lawn. Come on now, come on now. Enjoy the humor of the situation. All right. Have you heard the one about the boy who moved into the hen house to sleep? He woke up with hair on his face when he found that all the hens had crossed the street. Come on now, come on now. Whoops. As I walked out, I thought about all I left behind me. I felt a chill because I was still wearing the other's new clothes. You dreamed I had finished while your next door neighbor soaked me with the hose. Never bounces. All right. Well, we've got ourselves a few different colors and they all look pretty damn similar to each other. So let's go to Scratch Piece. Come here. So here we have lemon yellow, right? So we'll get some lemon yellow on here, just pure lemon yellow on white. It's just going to be really bright. That's what it is. And then I did lemon yellow with sap green light. That's this one and this one. Sap green light, right? Right here. It's kind of faint, to be fair, because I didn't do a lot of thick color in it. I might need to. The next one was lemon yellow and hooker's green, which is this one. Well, it's almost exactly the same. Next was lemon yellow with Viridian, this one. It's richer. Oh, and I like how the yellow shines through on that one. I think we have a winner. Yeah, wow. What a weird difference that made. That mixed lovely. I mean, it's not dry. Let me dry it. Maybe we'll see if there's a difference. It's still pretty wet. Dry. Okay, well, that'll dry in a minute. It's just going to burn if I keep forcing it. But yeah, the mixture of the lemon yellow and Viridian on the bottom has the yellow shining through a bit more than the other two. And the other two, I think I just didn't mix enough. It's still fairly thin, but it doesn't matter because once I saw the Viridian mixture with the one on the bottom, the fact that it goes green to yellow and the yellow is shining through screams Borg skies to me. So that's what we're going with. So what I'm going to do, same as the other one, I'm going to wet it all down. We're going to hit it with our lightest color, the yellow, and then we'll do a richer yellow. Then we're going to hit it with our lemon yellow and Viridian mixture, lightly, then heavier. Then we're going to need to do a darker green, and we've got some here. But now after seeing this next to this, I don't know if I like that shade. I might pick on either pure Viridian. Yeah, I think pure Viridian before we hit our Prussian blue and indigo for the outer sky area. And because this one's fully in space, we don't have to worry about it fading or gradient fading, like we did for our horizon, our sky one here. So yeah, I think that's what we're doing. We're going Borg. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me grab my, I used this one earlier. I think that'll be, well, here, I've got the damn thing. Let's use it. Go ahead and use one of these 1-inch brushes. It's the Princeton Heritage Wash brush. I don't know how well it'll focus. Yeah, right there. Wash, Princeton Heritage. I don't know what that is. 4050W. Maybe that's a model number or something. But 1-inch. Let's use this guy. I wish you could feel this brush. It feels so soft. It is lovely. Anyway, Let's get some clean water. And we're going to go left to right. I'm just going to go over the Voyager just to double check that it's not going to bleed. Oh, but you know what? I realized the lighter color is going to want to bleed onto it. So maybe we go around it. Maybe we go around it. Worst case scenario, we just paint black back over it. But let's try not to give it too much work that we have to do with it. Maybe we do it that way and just be smarter about it. But we're still going to go over the edges of it because we need it to be wet enough to bleed. Or that's not the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Okay. Are nice and saturated. Oh, fuck it. Just get the whole damn thing wet. Right. There's green in there? Oh. Probably because I must have gone into the... No, I think there's some green left in there from a previous project. I did not clean this brush very thoroughly. Well, that's not healthy for it. That's better. I need to... At some point, I need to grab all my brushes and do a good, solid, deep clean of them. But I'd like to get that... oh my god. What is it called? Not agar. Gorgon. To be able to reshape and protect the brushes and kind of put them back into where they belong. Let's go ahead and hit this with some color before I totally lose my mind. Let's do some of our yellow that we grabbed. Okay. And we're going to just hit it in a couple spots, leave some white. And again, as I like to do, I need to hit it from different angles. Whoa. What's in there? God, I'm not cleaning my brushes. Let's try that again. Ah. Ultimately, it's fine. It's freaking space. It's going to be fine. All right. We've got some yellows. Let's go ahead and rinse that off. And let's go to our lemon yellow Viridian mixture we've got right here. Okay. Making his words round off the hurt. Okay, let's go a little darker. Okay. And I think we need to go for some more Viridian. So I'm going to grab just a little bit and add it to my mix here and get it just a little bit darker, but still have some of that yellow in it, I think. And let's dab in some of these same places and try to add some additional darkness to it. Okay. And to go a little bit more. Again, 10. Vintage back. Okay. And let's get ourselves first a clean brush. Hit the clean water, hit the Prussian blue, refill this section over here with some clean Prussian blue. Maybe a tiny bit darker. Right? And let's just hit in some spots. Not on all of the white, but just in general. All right, go a little bit more on the Prussian blue. Give me pigment. There we go. Okay. Let's clean that up. And get some indigo. Add it over here. And add a couple dots in places. Okay. Let's stop. Let's get it dry quick before it does too much. All right. Chicken to Chinese, the Chinese chicken. You have a bunch of chicken, your brain starts chicken. Watching that spot with the lights on. It on the nails on. Got this looking into this from my ears and didn't fantastic. It's fantastic. Let's make it good and satisfying. The meal with count, think that it is summer life. The beauty life and my college fun, I feel like an edge. I'm singing love. When it'll still be too silly, summer sorry. Okay. Question then. So taking a look at this as it is, do we do another layer to darken up areas with some more indigo to get some areas that are truly black? Or do we leave it the one layer faint? Because we do have some interesting designs here that created as it dried. See, they kind of like, it's hard to tell because it's starting to get a little bit pixelated, but there's a little bit of like a spider webbing that started being created in some spots. Let me zoom out and lift it so you can see it better. Because we could do another layer just in spots to darken it before we put space and stars in it. So we can lift this up. Yeah. So at full resolution, it's a little darker because I'm away from the light a little bit, but do I just put stars on top of this? Or should I do a little bit more indigo to darken a couple spots up? And then I'll borrow the marker from my other half again to go back over the Voyager because you can see where it did go over the edges a tiny bit in some spots. So I think I'll just top it off. Or I'll just do black watercolor like I said. So I don't know. I almost want to keep it the way it is. I think I'm going to keep it like that and just add stars to it and call that one. Because again, I know myself, in an effort to make things look better, I sometimes overdo things. So I think I'm going to leave that one the way it is and just add some fainter stars to it. And maybe we can do some yellow stars mixed in with the white ones. And instead of the brush, and instead of using acrylic, I think I'm going to use watercolor. So let me do this. Let me put the Voyager back over the top of what I did. It's not going to help with the outline portion, but it'll cover a majority of it. And maybe I'll grab just a piece of tape just to kind of help hold him in place. Hold her in place? I guess Voyager is a she. And I'm not even going nuts with it. I just want to kind of hold it in place. And then, methinks, let's get my smallest round brush. And let's move some of my other stuff around because this is always messy, but I'm going to try to be gentle with it. Let me go in strong with the lemon yellow and see if it's thick enough, but wet enough to flick. Seems good. I don't want to go crazy with it because I'm going to add white to it as well. Let me thin it just a tiny bit. Line up, line. You know what? I've got yellow here. Let me just add to it. Okay, I got a little bit. Ooh, I had a thought. I have a thought. Let me clean up my mess from the side of my rinse area. Do we have a yellow in this? I have gold. And I have metallic deep gold. Maybe just gold. Let's see how that looks. I'll take a minute because I didn't pre-wet this to activate it at all. Water. Okay. It's coming out good. Let's go. It's got diamond white. That'll make a good, I got no water in there. That'll make a good white star. Let's mix it up really well. And go in. Get back there. Gallery. Can win, I suppose. Start by removing all my clothes. Time my penthouse, or a man on that. I'd be like the world. You would be right around. Gonna go for some of the lime green metallic. I thought that would be good. Be worth noticing. Okay. Well, one last one to go. I did yellow, plain yellow. So let's do some plain white. It's watercolor, but it'll be fine. Normally I do my white stars with acrylic because it stays pretty vibrant. Top I had no water in it. Okay. Stop there to dry it off. Paint over our Voyager mask again with the acrylic marker. And then hit it with some of the white gel pens to add some more stars that are a little bit more vibrant. Makes me realize I'll probably want to get some of the gel pens with different colors that I would use for stars. I don't need a lot for a lot of things, but for stars, I think I could probably get away with all the obvious star colors, like a pale blue, a pale yellow. You know what I mean? Red. This is my smallest round brush. You can go there. You. Okay. You are size 6. You go there. You. Hi, Comet. Hey, you, Betty. Yeah, just saying hey. Hey. How you doing? Yes. That still has blue in it. Rinse out, damn you. Out, damn spot. Out, damn spot. There we go. Okay. You can go back over here. I don't need my acrylic white because I'm going to use pens. Right? Right. Oh, there you go. Let's hit it with a dryer. The heat gun. Up. Better. And in typical fashion, I got paint everywhere. Because when I do stars, it just kind of goes everywhere. one day I will stop and I will find a solution where I like look, it's even on the back of my freaking hand. I mean, it just goes everywhere without even trying to. I need to find a good guard like solution where I can do it in a box. I'm almost not even getting it on myself, but I can stop it from going on everything else. Jeez. All right. One. I think Comet is excited that his food bowl just got picked up. He's like, oh my god, food's coming. Oh, oh. Don't mind me going Hank Hill for a second there. Oh, beep boop. Someone must have come online. Oh, nope. I know what it is. Let me check that super flirt like. Oh, oh, ah, got it. I have to check to make sure I'm not painting my underarm and leaning. Okay. I've got a couple varying little groupings of pure white from the pen. I need to do a couple large ones so we can have a couple really bright stars. Then I'll do the week before I discovered alcohol. All right. And let's switch to a smaller pen. Make sure it's writing. It is. Do a couple groupings of much smaller stars in areas. In Lord, till the week before I discovered alcohol. Make sure you get white even in the areas that are faint. I think that's more than enough stars on this. Just go ahead and take off our Voyager. A little mask will preserve him because he was a pain in the ass to cut out. Get rid of that tape. Now, I wonder if I can just use a small brush and just get some of the stuff out of the immediate vicinity of the silhouette. Or is it just going to be better to paint or to marker over it? Might be easier just to marker over it. Yeah, I'll just do that. All right. Let me dry this off because even the pen gets wet. And if I touch it, it will wipe up. Oh, you know? Oh, Ah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, I think. Let me get that acrylic marker really quick. I'll be right back. All right. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to move this out of the way and bring this over and turn it so I can get to it. I'm going to top up the edge of this where I spilled some paint on it earlier. Even though it's on black, it still shows up. So I'm going to try to just ring the outline of this with the black acrylic in the hopes that it will simply cover it up. Let me try to have a steadier hand because I'm ruining it by being slightly out of alignment with it. It's not orange pen. I'll pick you up. I'll touch you on your. I'll touch you on. And we're dead in the same. The only reason my will do. To fade the king run who loves more than human. If you call, I will listen. And if you fall, I'll pick you up. And if you call, those and okay, stop there. It's fine. I have an idea. So we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to see about making some minor adjustments, maybe, perhaps, maybe. To Google first. Voyager. Okay. Images. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the idea I'm going for. Will this let me see the image big? Yes, big enough. So I'm not going to do a lot. However, because this is black, I'm going to use the smallest brush I've got and the metallics for this red and this bluish purple. And I'm going to do a tiny bit, and I mean a tiny bit, of the engine. So what I mean by that is, bring this in a little bit more. You can see the lines more on camera than you can in person. I may go over that again, and we'll see. But the engine glow, so the bluish color along the edge of the engine, just barely the edge. The Bassard collectors, which is what they use to collect debris and stellar gases, all of that to help add to their power. And it's a tiny bit of the red color. on the left and right side of the nacelle. So on the front, here and here, right in front. And then these slits were at the back of the engine where the impulse engine is. Just a couple thin lines. I'm pointing my fingernail, you can't see, but right on the edge there. So really just a pop of color here and here along the side and then here. And that's it. Only the glowy bits, but not any of the windows because I don't have the layout of the ship from a top down view and the time and desire to fill out all the window outlines that glow, just the engine bit. So I'm going to do that super quick, but as accurate as I can. And since it's a top down view, it's not as mission critical. Oh, I was like, what should I do? I put it in the wrong spot. It's not as mission critical about getting. Sorry, I can't even think. It's not as mission critical about getting the side view because it's just going to be a thin line of the blue and then a couple thin lines of the red and a couple spots and then done. Literally just that, no more, no less. All right, so I'm gonna get most of that gone, and I'm gonna list up my glasses so I can get in here. Okay. Okay. Rinse that out. And switch to our bluish purple color. See what that looks like first. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It's literally almost end to end with a little bit of a gap. So we're gonna go down to here. on. Okay. Let's try that off, peel it, and be done for the day. And when it's all in the heart together, kind of the sun is clear. I have done and back pain. So flying on the blank. See, married another pen, never listen out. I'm letting to us done. In moving on, living light in your pain. You ain't got to spend and stand on your dreams. Never worked my way through a forest and fish doubled over on the hill that means. Never spent a single anything in retail. Telling people what they want to hear, telling people anything to make us sing. Getting you the food court. Think never is enough, yeah, never is enough. What's the worst about? Right. Let's peel it. All right. Get over here. Excuse me. Yep. I think we did pretty good, guys. Again, because the zoom, it just doesn't look great when it's zoomed in really close. Let me zoom back out and we'll lift them up. So here's how our Voyager 1 came out. The engine area, you can kind of see, especially with the light to my left, you can see the reflection a little bit, especially in the engine, the blue, the kind of blue purple part, how it fades and then reflects, and all the stars. Some are yellow and white watercolor, and some are a gold and a like a titanium white or whatever it's called, diamond white, a metallic. So some of them look flat until you turn them into the light and then they light up. So you get a little bit of some metallic stars to get some depth, and then some flat white and yellows. Oh, and I forgot I also did that lime green metallic in there too. And then the Bessard collectors and the impulse engine grills at the back. So we got ourselves a little pop of color in the silhouette of the ship. And then our night sky came out really nice as well. And of course, an ad is going right now, so I will hang out until after the ads and I will end after that. Let's go ahead and I can at least start packing up. There we go. Yeah, this Karataki set is amazing. It's the quality on it is actually surprisingly good. Clearly my lessons learned with it. Don't go heavy with it because it starts getting glossy and reflective when you go really heavy. It works best when it's like mid-tones and light, and then it's just gorgeous. But everything we did today was using this, aside from the metallic set that we did, this Arteza metallic and iridescent that I already put that up. You are here as a my normal palette. That. Do some more of that in a second. Put that up. I think I might even break out that black watercolor and do some metallic ones. The only downside being, how do I write on the back of it? I mean, I guess I can use the white pen, but I don't know how legible it'll be. So next time, I think maybe we'll bring out some of the black watercolor paper that I've got and try writing on it with this white gel pen and see if it is fully legible. If so, I may do some fully metallic greeting cards. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know what they'll be, but clearly when the time comes, we'll play with it and see how it comes out. Ads 5, 4, 3, get out of here. Okay, ads done finally. All right, so turn this music off completely. Where we're at, we're done for today. We've done great. We've got 2 greeting cards out of, I think we only need like 7 or 8 total, to be fair, but I'm going to try to do double that at least. So I'm going to have a bunch of abstract options and some that are specific to people. This right one might be more specific to a person. But yeah, I think we're going to call it today. We're going to make more like this in the future. I'm very happy with how they came out. The Voyager one came out great, totally beautiful. And then at some point in between, I need to make some more greeting cards. I want to finish using these, so I will make another set of this abstract as well. And then I kind of want to combine the two. I think what I want to do is get the QR code on one side with the name, or maybe just remove the name and just use this and have a fully blank space next to it and get it to like a rectangular shape, maybe semi greeting card size, and paint in the blank space on the right side of it and maybe faintly over the QR code portion so that it's still fully legible, and have it on one side. I realize when we go places and I give one out or I pin it to a bulletin board, I can only pin one side. So I have to make the decision, do I pin the QR code side so people can see it and scan it and be like, what is that? Or do I pin the side that has the artwork but is pinned to the wall so they can't easily scan the code? So I think I'm going to combine them on one side in the next rendition of this, and maybe make some additional adjustments. We'll see. So I've got that to decide for next time or one of my next times. We're going to make more greeting cards in the future as well. So we'll see how those come out. And then at some point, I'll do a big reveal of all the ones I made before I sent them out. So I think that's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and head out, Goddess and Desert. If you're still out there lurking, thank you guys so much for hanging out and or lurking with me. Anybody else who's out there lurking or watching the VOD later on, please drop in, say hi. I do have some links below. Below, there we go, below to get to my Discord. I never really shout that out, but it exists. It's there. Someday at some point, people, please hop in there and we'll make some channels. We'll chit chat in there. Maybe we'll do some paint alongs, things like that. And we can show it in there and show our results as a group effort to show how we did. Just use it however we want. We'll figure it out ourselves. Aside from that, check out my Instagram. I post nearly everything I paint there. I really want to show the journey, and that means showing all the really bad crap that I put out there that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I am proud of the fact that I did it and that it is a stepping stone to get to being better. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to stop yakking. I'm going to go ahead and head out. I don't quite know if there's anyone on that I want to raid. Let me at least look and see if there's anybody. And if there is someone, I will raid them. And if not, I will just head on out. Who's out there today? I mean, nobody immediately that I want to raid, so I think I will just call it. And again, even though I see people that I like to watch who have a lot of people, I don't like raiding big streamers because it feels foolish to do. So I'm just going to head on out. Desert, thank you for popping back in. I love the journey. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's only going to get better as I go. All right, I'm going to head on out. Love you guys so much. Have a great evening. And I will see you Thursday with more fun painting stuff. All right. Take it easy, guys. Bye.